I am going to run a tier 18. So, there we go. Welcome, Reckless Wanderers. This is Robert here, and this is a PoE2 video. Because somebody said, I miss your videos, so I'm gonna make a video. And I have my character now where I want it to be, sort of, kind of. So here's a T16 map, which is not too crazy. It only has Illy Weakness and Crit, which I have to kind of worry about. Everything else is manageable. It's going to be Crowbell in a irradiated, corrupted map, so we end up with a tier 16 in a tier 18. And I can show you the Blasphemy... What's it called again? Blood Mage. The Crit Blasphemy Hexblast Blood Mage. Not my build. Blatantly copied that off the internet from a very nice person called... I have to look it up. Mage, and I'm going to link the video in the description, so you should see it up there. And I was looking for something that turned down the speed of monsters in maps a bit, because as it turns out, monsters are really freaking fast in the endgame. So there's that. And also wanted to have something that is aesthetically pleasing and nice to play. Originally, my very first character in PoE2 was a mercenary, because I wanted to cosplay Doom guy from the Doom franchise, but that didn't work out too well. Ended up with a nice build, but nothing like what I initially had envisioned, so I stopped playing that. I started in SSF, and yeah, item progression in SSF is a bit tricky as well, so there's that. So I migrated over at some point to trade and then started this character, which I really quite enjoy. Took quite a while to get off the ground, so one problem with Hexblast is that you can't start with it immediately. You have to level at something else, because Hexblast and Blasphemy only become available very late, around level 50-ish. So I did the cookie cutter leveling with basically unascended until I finished the campaign as minion witch, leveling with arsonists, and then only after I reached endgame spec'd into Hexblast, after I got the initial items as well. And yeah, it is by no means a crazy build. It's not a cookie cutter. I run around with Herald of Ice and explode the entire screen. It's actually, it does promote some methodical play, so you do have to, even though you slow everything down to a crawl, kind of, you still have to avoid things like that massive barrage, which could have easily one-shot me. But thanks to Grim Feast, which is literally OP, I lived through that. And yeah, I could say something more about the character as such, but everything has already been said in Magdry's video, so I really don't want to repeat myself. That guy has proximal tangibility, which is very annoying. So, and there's also a really good, was it max roll? No, it was not max roll. It was Mobalytics. Yes, a Mobalytics overview of his guide, which I will also link, so you can check that out. I can maybe, after I went to the boss, to show you what the boss damage is. Spoiler, it's not great, because my items are not optimal. I'm still missing a lot of crit multi, and I'm missing a +5 one, but I currently do not have the currency to get that. So, boss damage still lacking. By group clear, it's an absolute dream, in my opinion. Again, nothing compared to Ice Strike Monks, but very pleasant mapping experience indeed. I kind of wish I had Blink to get over that ledge, but that's what it is. And before you ask, yes, I do use a loot filter. Even though this looks like standard, this is actually never things filter, but I use the default. I try to retain the default colors of the PoE scheme, because I really don't like when loot filters are becoming just rainbow colors. And Neversing did an amazing job with his color palette, but it's still like the font sizes are all over the place, and it's also like 500 different colors, and it's a bit much. Is this the boss now? It is. Yes, nice. So for bosses, we still have to do a little bit of gem swap to concentrated effect, and of course this is a T4 boss. There are no tank mods, so no boss health or anything, no enfeeble, so this could be even slower, but yeah, so it's nothing to write home about. It's probably not even 1,000,000 DPS, which is why I'm a bit hesitant to do like pinnacle content. In order to do that, I really need some better jewels with more crit multi, and also a better wand, and maybe crit multi on my wand to, yeah, actually have better damage. Once the boss is frozen, it gets better a little bit. Also, it's a lot safer. But obviously, reduction of freeze and stuff is preventing that from working through the entire boss, right? Plus this boss tends to cosplay a lot, so there's that. And he is actually, now that I see that he has Sapphires, is also a bit questionable why I'm not avoiding as well as I should. There goes my totem. Mana is a big problem. But still, kinda manageable. It actually does feel probably like boss fights are intended to feel. So there's that. So I guess that's a win. And yeah, I wanted to swap over to my other character, but before I do that, maybe some quick hints how to get this off the start, because this is not in Madcry's guide. You need a couple of things to get started. The hardest things to come by is the chest armor and the amulet, because you need a combined 240 spirit basically to run all the auras and buffs. And for that you actually do need a shaman mantle, because it has implicit spirit with as close to 60 spirit as you can get. And you also need a lot of spirit on your amulet. You can wear a Winter's Gamble if you find one to get a better implicit. So attributes of course help, because you want to get your life total as much as possible. But yeah, so these two are very important to get. It's Series Disdain. You can get them quite cheap, even with the gain 30 as max life, as energy shield, and 20 damage taken bypasses. If they're not corrupted, you can still get them for just a few exalts. But what you need on top of that is, like I said, at least level 64, so you can get most of the crit chance nodes. And then you need a lot of crit chance on jewels. You need at least one jewel that has recover mana and kill with damage and crit chance. And yeah, these are unfortunately expensive. So those set you back at least a divine per jewel, at least currently. That might change. And even with that, my crit chance is only at 90%. It's all right, but again, nothing to write home about. You could get better there if the wand had more crit, and again if the wand had +5, but that costs. So these are the three things you need to get this build off the ground. You need the chest with lots of spirit, you need the amulet with lots of spirit, and you need the jewels. I guess it's 4 things with a Series Disdain and 5 things with a wand that has plus levels, because otherwise it also doesn't feel as nice. So getting +4 is quite mandatory there as well. I wanted to show the other character. Yeah, the mercenary in comparison. So this character is level 94. I called him lore accurate Doom guy, which in retrospect sounds kind of not great because I didn't achieve that goal. But still, I do have a lot of weapon swapping still and shotgun and stuff in here, and it actually is a really nice playstyle as well. I enjoy the playstyle of this character a lot more than the Hexblast witch, but it's so much more dangerous to run maps with this guy. And actually, I'm not even sure I can survive like 1 or 2 packs here, but let's see. But it's also again a guide that I got inspired by on YouTube. It's from Lazy Exile, and it's an ailment gunslinger. Wow, I actually have to get behind these guys. I completely forgot about that they don't take any damage from the front. So things that you don't have to worry about with Hexblast. But with a character like this, you actually have to run behind certain mobs in order to be able to damage them. So yeah, quite weaker. The single target of this guy is a lot better, because Stormburst rounds are just absolutely OP, but everything else is not that great. I'm not sure if we can actually get a rare to show up. I mean, probably, because the map's not complete yet. Actually, do the mobs have ailment threshold shenanigans? I probably should have checked that in advance. No, they don't. So they should get frozen. So this is using 3 dragons to freeze the mobs. But again, in the T18 maybe. Yeah. Not really up to snuff. The crossbows are not that great. They are... Oh, okay. Yeah, so we can show a boss. So that worked out. Cool. I think that was only my 3rd Beyond boss. I never really get Beyond bosses, if they're actually called that in this game. But that was nice. Yeah, bossing with this guy a little bit nicer than with Hexblast, but mapping just super dangerous. Also just because of the really low health pool of just 3k life. And not being chaos capped and all this kind of stuff. It's not very relaxing to play with this character, whereas with the Hexblast, which it feels like I can just run through maps and chill. I probably want to rebuild this guy though, with a little bit more currency. Like I said, this was a solo self-found start, and then hence not really geared up well. I am gonna switch characters again because it feels like impossible to say something while playing this character because it takes so much energy. I guess that's the good thing when you have so many portals. Yeah, what else? I mean, yeah, PoE 2, great fun, obviously. Lots of issues. Not gonna sweet talk the game too much, but for me, currently very, very difficult to go back to PoE 1. Just because the game feel is just so much better in PoE 2. Even though it's unfinished and there's basically not too much to do. I don't have that much time to play, and that's why the limited time that I do have, it's still, I'm not bored yet. Let's put it this way. I still enjoy the process of mapping, running Sakamas with this character especially is pretty nice. You barely get hit because, yeah, you slow everything down. You could even, like if you wanted to, you could even freeze entire packs because you have contagion with chaotic freeze. So that makes this very, very relaxing. Don't like when they hide behind item labels. Okay. Map complete. That means we can do the expedition, and if because this map is a little bit spicy, might be an opportunity to die here. Let's see. This explosive placement was really, really poor, but whatever. Okay, it was 0 monsters there. Well done, Robert. Well done. Hey, we left. And they need to change the chest labels. I mean, come on. I guess that's one benefit of Neversink's filter, because everything is colored. You would see the excavated chests more easily, because it's not the default thing, but yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Don't quite know how to end the video, so I'm probably just gonna fade to black and wish you a lovely time. See you around in PoE 2 or in PoE 1 if there's a new league. And yep, bye bye.